Hey guys, it's Shay for FTMSweethearts. I forget what week this is, but we've been traveling. We have been away from home since Saturday, and we will be going home on Saturday, but we've been hanging around Washington and Seattle and visiting my siblings and my relatives, and pretty ready to go home. We're currently right now staying with Gavin's best friend and her girlfriend, and they're awesome, so it should be pretty good, but like definitely had enough family time lately. Yay. Alright, this week we're talking about religion and how, I guess, kind of like how you grew up and what defines your personal religion, and then how you worked in, I don't know, being gay and then dating a trans person, or just simply dating a trans person or whatever. Alright, for me, my parents became missionaries in 1989. My dad was an Assemblies of God pastor, and they moved overseas in like early 1990, I think, and they actually are they've been missionaries for a lot of years, 89 to 2013, 12, okay, a long time. My dad died in 2011, I think it was, so my mom is actually still being a missionary and still living overseas, so that's why, like, with her visiting recently, it was kind of a big deal, because she only comes to the States about once a year, but it's really stressful. So I was raised, all over church. Like, I sang in the choir, and like I played tambourine, and like we were Assemblies of God is kind of Pentecostal, so there was like people speaking in tongues and all that kind of stuff for us. And like growing up, my dad would be like, preach, and alright, now my wife and kids are gonna get up and sing for you. So every single thing I did in my life was determined by church and ruled by church and organized by church, and everything had to do with it. And I was taught that homosexuality was wrong. It was an abomination. God didn't like it, and therefore you shouldn't do it. So as a child, when I started to realize that I had sexual feelings towards women, it was really scary for me. Because every single thing I had been taught my whole life was that I was going to hell for it. And I was I was doing my best so hard in every single other way possible, that to just like have this deep dark secret about this thing that I might go to hell for just fucking sucked. So I moved to the US when I was 18, and I just graduated high school, and I went to college for a year, and then I joined the military, and while in the military, I became a lot more skeptical about God and divinity, and I don't know, I believe that there's a divine power in it. I absolutely believe that. However, I just don't think that humanity is smart enough to define somebody who could create every single thing around us. Like, I can't comprehend it. I'm not the smartest person, but I'm alright. And I just cannot comprehend a being that could create every single thing that floats around here. And, my eyeball, it's super complex. No idea how it's done. So, yeah, I think joining the military sort of woke up the skeptic in me. And, I remember in high school, I went to a very, very Christian boarding school, and we went through this class where you, like, learned how to answer the hard questions in life based on a religious point, and one of the questions I remember we discussing was, how can a good God allow such terrible things to happen? And I could never come up with a good answer for that, because I don't think a good God would allow such terrible things to happen. I don't know. So my personal doctrine has changed and evolved a lot over the last decade or so. So I'd met a few trans women here and there, but the very first trans guy I ever knew intimately was my partner, Gavin. And I remember, before we'd even started dating, I was sitting on the porch with him and, a bunch of other friends, and people were, like, quizzing him on being trans and what it means and stuff. And, I don't remember exactly how somebody asked him, but the question was kind of like, why would a good God make a mistake like this? How can somebody who can define this whole entire universe make a mistake as simple or as complex as someone's gender? Why would a good God put you in the wrong body. Like, that just makes no sense. You know, why would he be that cruel? And Gavin's answer still sticks with me. He brought up modern science and how 200 years ago, if a child was born with a cleft palate, they were stuck. They were fucked, you know, they'd never get married, they would never ever do anything in life because of this disfiguring thing that happened to them. Something happened in the womb, and that's how they turned out. And he says, you know, so for him, as a trans person, he feels like for him, it's the same thing. You know, you're born with something that made your body not quite right for the way society sees it, but thanks to science, it's fixable. And so for him, yes, the good God fucked up, but the good God also allowed people to, science, to progress along to a way that they can fix those fuck-ups. And I think he also kind of thinks that, I don't know, maybe it's not even fair to view it as a fuck-up anymore, because it's kind of a teaching tool, and a way to view, and a way to learn, and a way to be more compassionate than you might originally be. So, I think that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. I don't know. My favorite Bible verse, this is really cheesy, but it's Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11a. And it talks about how all things become beautiful in their time. And for me, I've always taken that to mean that life might really suck right now for whatever reason, but it's gonna get better. I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of Christians mad at me for tracking out a "it gets better" verse from the Bible, but I totally believe that. You know? Society might say that being transgender is wrong, and that's okay, because science can fix it, and the public is becoming aware, and they're learning, and they're becoming more compassionate, so that, I don't know, just think about, like, when your grandparents were little, yeah, they saw a child with a cleft palate, and that was it for them, but now we see a kid with a little bit of a scar, and, you know, most of the time, people won't even recognize that that's what that meant, that once upon a time they had something wrong with their body that was able to be fixed. And I think that for us, that's kind of, I don't know, you know, that's, you know, I don't honestly know if I've even really answered the question this week, I guess. Religion is a really hard topic for me, because I was raised with such a defined take on religion, you know, it was either you follow this path or you're going to hell. And it took me getting away from the system and getting out of the fucking cult and relearning for myself what that meant, and redefining God and relearning what that means. And I have a really hard time believing in a good God that allows so much badness to happen. So, I don't know that I really believe in one anymore. Not in one that's very involved with humanity. But, I'm traveling, so I have to get this video under 10 minutes or else I can't load it. So, you guys have a good week. Keep in touch. Next week, our topic's going to be awesome, so keep in mind. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.